Welcome back, everybody, to the Financial Freedom Edge. So, I just came back from walking a property. Sorry, I didn't even get enough time to take a video because it's a complete teardown. There is a very small, terrible looking house. Everything needs done. Needs a roof. Needs a foundation. That is right. That is a house with no foundation. It's just a teardown, right? Like, there's nothing salvageable. Even the owner said, yeah, the best part about this house is the shed in the back. The shed. I'm not buying your house for the shed. So, basically I went in there, looked around for a second, saw that everything was just completely destroyed. And I saw that there's no foundation. The sellers are wanting $175, so $175K is the asking price. So here's the problem with the teardown, right? You're basically buying the lot minus the cost of tearing that structure down. So, they actually have a liability. Their property is worth less than an empty lot because now I have to go tear down and dispose of, their nasty house. So, I can't remember. I have to look again, but, lots for that size in that area, which is not even a great area. I'll be honest with you guys, it wasn't even that great of an area, but I figured, okay, low entry price, flip it, since it's a small square footage, less materials, less labor, less costs overall, we can get this thing on the market for maybe $300. But after seeing that there's no foundation, and then the general overall condition, the property is not worth it at all. I think lots are going for maybe 100 around there, might even be a little bit less, but then you got to tear down the structure, right? So let's say it's even worth 120. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You got to tear that whole property out and dispose of it and everything like that. You're probably out, since it's a really small house, you're probably out maybe 30,000. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've actually never tore a house down before, so I don't even really know the actual cost of that. That's just kind of a guess. You get somebody with one of those big crane things or whatever, with the shovel on it, and just knock that whole thing over, scoop it, put it into a big truck or, a 40-yard dumpster, as much as you can. But yeah, you got to get one of those big trucks. So, I don't know, maybe $20,000, $30,000. I don't know. Probably depends on disposal costs and stuff like that. But yeah, really at the end of the day, it's, that's a really sucky situation for that seller to be in because they actually have a liability. They'd probably be, and I'm not going to recommend this. Not recommended. Do not do this at home. But it'd probably be better for them if they had insurance on the property, which probably not. But if they did, it'd be better if that place burnt down. That way they wouldn't have to pay for disposal, and maybe they could get some money from the insurance company, and then it'd be easier just to sell the lot. But basically, I took a couple pictures from the outside. I was like, okay, need some exterior paint. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to redo the roof. And then as soon as I saw that there was no foundation, and then I looked inside, and I'm just like, man, it's not even worth adding a foundation to. Adding a foundation, you're probably 30, 50K, maybe. See, that's another thing, you guys. See, I'm not a builder, right? Like, I've never lifted up a house. I've never tried to pour a foundation under a house. So these are all guesses, right? Basically, I'd have to go find that out. But at the end of the day, the price for a teardown, no foundation, right? Because that right there, a foundation itself is $20,000, $30,000 without a house on it, right? So you got to level everything, pour it, it's got to set, all that stuff, all the concrete, all the labor, all that stuff. And again, depends on how big the foundation is too, right? So, it didn't even have that, right? So you're literally just starting with dirt that has, hopefully, I didn't even check, has plumbing run to it from the city, and then has electricity coming from one of the poles, right? So you basically have a really big shed. I could go get one of those at Home Depot for less than $175,000. In fact, I could be wrong. Again, hashtag not a lender. But man, I mean, you would have a very difficult time even getting a loan on a property without a foundation, right? Because I mean, it's not affixed to the ground, right? So I mean, you could literally just pick that thing up and move it, right? I mean, not easily, obviously, but it's not affixed to the ground. I mean, it's kind of like a trailer, right? It's almost like personal property because it's not sitting on a foundation. So, and as you know from listening to me and hopefully other people, trailers not on their own land are worth less. I've seen trailers go for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, not 100, 15, 10, and $5,000, because there's no foundation, right? And they're in a park, right? And you have monthly rents and things, monthly space rent that you have to pay, right? So I mean, yes, this is its own piece of land, but I mean, what the seller really should do is knock that down themselves and go put a manufactured home on that thing. That's probably the best bet. I mean, depends what they owe on it, but yeah, that's a rough spot to be in. So, but yes, do your due diligence. Not having a foundation is a huge problem. Having a bad roof is a problem. Having bad plumbing and electrical is a problem. But the no foundation thing, that's a big issue, right? Because you know, let's say we did fix the property up, right? Let's say we did try to sell it for $300. It wouldn't sell because every other house has a freaking foundation. So then we'd have to add that, right? We'd either have to lift up the house and all this other stuff. And the problem is there's no budget to add a $50,000 foundation to this property, which means, you know, we would need to clear $350 from it, and it's just not going to happen, right? And we could advertise it too. Hey everybody, brand new foundation. Woo! Nobody cares. Nobody cares about a brand new foundation. You know what they care about is the kitchen, is the floors, is the paint, is a little bit of the roof, right? Nobody expects to pay more because it has a foundation. Everybody expects a foundation. They expect running water. They expect electrical, right? Nobody's paying you more for that stuff. If you upgrade it, nice, but you're not, you know, if you spend $50,000 on a foundation, I mean, I don't even think they'd pay you for that, really, because people buy houses with foundations, or they buy trailers that don't, right? You never buy a house without a foundation. Just don't do it. So anyways, that's my rant. I wish I could have made a video for you guys, but yeah, basically there was 3 parties there, and we all pretty much walked out after 3 minutes. So that was pretty much it. So okay, you guys, I'm gonna get back to cold calling. It's super hot day. Peace.